I got pee. I'll be right back. What's up? Yeah. Don't say that too loud, boys. Boys and girls, welcome to a Los Angeles Kings post playoff analysis. But as you know, that's just the starting point for the Earlverse. We can talk about anything you guys want. And then in about an hour, I'm off to yoga. It's the only thing that makes my mind right. And yes, hit the like and subscribe button. I don't think I can. It's funny, there's a Subway right by my yoga studio. And as soon as I'm done, I walk out of the studio right past a foot-long cookie poster, and it looks disgusting. I have tried DDP yoga. In full disclosure, DDP yoga gave me a free password. But I actually take hot yoga at Artha Fitness Studio. I usually don't eat right after yoga. You know, hot yoga is very tough on the internal eating organs. So usually I'll have like a bottle of water and a Gatorade or something along those lines. Might even take a steam in the aftermath. It differs with each room. I mean, when I went to one studio, hot yoga, I think the room temperature was 105. I think the temperature I'm in tonight's about 90. Now I think it's Bikram yoga goes up to like 125, which is crazy. Yeah, I hear that. Queen on. I'm trying to think what else. It's funny, I was in hot yoga once with Russell Simmons, who was right next to me, and he literally got up. This shows you how out of the fucking loop he was. He gets up and opens up the door to cool the room down, and the teacher was basically like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Not giving a f about who Russell Simmons was. And he's like, "It's too hot in here," and she was like, "It's hot yoga," and she shut the door. It's kind of neat to see someone that powerful put in your place. Speaking of powerful, if you're coming to Hackamania, which is just, I believe now, under a month away, and you want to save a few dollars, all you have to do is Earl. Well, I remember once Russell Simmons was judging roast battle, and this is when I was the house racist who just sat in the corner and heckled. And obviously I knew who Russell Simmons was. I mean, he's a pretty identifiable dude. And I was going hard in the paint that night, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, hard in the paint. And I felt bad, so I went up to him after and I apologized. And he said, "Man, you were my favorite part." I said, "Okay, Never mind. My Adidas boy. So, did they ever find out who killed the DJ in Run DMC? Was it Jam Master Jay? Man, that's a lot of shady shit that goes on in the rap world. Let's see what hockey games are on right now. Yes, we got. Let me see here. We got Michael Cohen. You know, let's see. We got. I don't think there is a game on tonight. I sure can tell you the LA Kings aren't playing. The Bruins and the Maple Leafs at 5 p.m. That should be a good game. I mean, Maple Leafs have to win or they are out. The Kings lost to the Edmonton Oilers last night. Boy, that refereeing last night was wonky as you know what. It's not why the Kings lost. I'm not one of those fans, but they called holding on Pierre-Luc Dubois when he literally had two hands on his own stick. How the hell can you hold someone? And the guy on Edmonton, Draisaitl, who's a really good player, he totally dived. And they don't call him for the dive, but right before that, they call Kevin Fiala, who's literally about to shoot from 12 feet out, and he got tripped, and the ref said he dove. Now, if you got an open shot and you can shoot it as good as Fiala can shoot it, you're going to sit there and say he dove? Once again, not why the Kings lost, but that really kind of turned the tide of the game because if they don't call, and they called the guy for tripping Fiala, so how is he diving if he got tripped? That would have been a 5-on-3 power play, and who knows what happens. Two men were found guilty in his death. Thank you, William Zoom, as always. You are the purveyor of knowledge in the Earlverse. Thank you guys for tuning in. Body slam that like button if you can, my friends. That helps crack the algorithm, and subscriptions help me as well. I've plateaued, I think, at about 2,340 subscribers. 6 months ago, I had about 1,500. So, although that's quite a big leap in the 6 months, a couple more subs would not make me unhappy. It's tricky maneuvering to get into the algorithm without Bill Zoom, fact man extraordinaire. Truer words have never been spoken. Yeah. I mean, I'm still puzzled as to why the numbers basically have dropped to half of what they were. I'm averaging about 100 views, whereas, I would say a couple weeks ago, month ago, I was 240, 250. So that's a big drop. And I've been pretty consistent in going on, but I have checked out I've changed my password, like William Zoom said. I have, there's no one muted or blocked. There's no keywords that are, you can block people who use certain keywords. So, I guess I fell out of the algorithm, and I will continue to try and get back into it without talking about the Dabbleverse. That's the key thing for me, is I won't go to the dark side. Yeah, I mean, I'm also going on at the end of the day. I mean, at this point, you've got Shuley and Melton in the morning, Chad in the mid-morning, Kevin, obviously, and then whenever Ray and Carl and Steel Toe. So, I'm getting late to the party. So, I'll just keep pounding away. And yeah, I'm going to do next week. I'm interviewing Eric Audet, who was in a Pakistani prison for 3 years. reminiscent of Midnight Express with Brad Davis. I mean, it's really that story all over again. Um, I believe if I want to say it, he had weed or something in his luggage, much like I think Brad Davis in the movie, which was based on a true story, was smuggling, I think, heroin, and he got put in a Turkish prison. And I got something you could pound away on, Jordan. I mean, I'm trying to get more controversial guests on, for the numbers, baby, for the numbers. Maybe I'll get a Palestinian comic on, shake it up. Would rather hear Earl comment over the credits of episodes of Miami Vice. I thought about doing a Miami Vice, just starting episode 1 and going to free fall. I was watching the last episode of Miami Vice the other night. What a great episode. The guy who plays the rogue DEA agent, Baker, he had the best line when Crockett and Tubbs were at the end and they shot the drug dealer Bourbon. He's like, I don't make policy, I enforce it. There's only one thing I care about, and that's the interest of U.S. Anything counter to him, I take care of business. Uh, oh, wow. William Zoom. That is a very quick, but he was so good in that episode of Miami Vice. There's only two things I care about. That's the line. There's only two things I care about: U.S. policy and anything counter to them. And I got carte blanche, babe. I could kill you right now. Blame it on Bourbon. Nobody's going to ask a question. And Crockett goes, do it if you got the stones. What up, Drunken Donuts? I haven't bought a WWE pay-per-view in, Jesus, a decade. Yeah, I looked his name up the other day, and he's just one of those character actors who, uh, just in literally 100+ TV shows and movies, and been a working actor for like 45 years or whatever. Miami Vice, that was 1989, I think, that episode. So he's literally been working. No, I was talking about an episode of Miami Vice, Drunken Donuts. We can talk politics in here, but I try, we can talk about anything. I mean, I'm about 10 minutes west of UCLA, probably about 40 minutes. No, I'm 10 minutes east of UCLA, about 40 minutes west, well, 30 to 40 minutes west of USC. So it is very interesting to see how the university, those two universities in particular, are handling the protests, because USC is a private university, so they have their own police force. So, if they tell you to get the fuck off campus, you got to go. Whereas UCLA is public, so they can't really kick anyone out. So, yeah, I mean, Biden should smoke some weed. Maybe he'd be more coherent. So, I'm still unsure of what exactly the problem is with Palestine and Israel. Like, it's all over land, and um, who claims ownership of the land. Israel says they were kicked out. Palestine basically says they were never there, so it's our land. And I mean, this has been going on for 100 years. I mean, that's what part of the problem was with the terrorist attack at the Olympic Village in '72. It really all boiled down to Palestine and Israel not liking each other. So I don't did not know that, Drunken Donuts. I'm not very familiar. No, I'm being straight up with you, Drunken Donuts. I mean, it really boils over land. And hey, in some cases, there's probably oil on that land. Which president would you roast? I'd roast any of the presidents. I'd love to roast Biden. I'd love to be the White House correspondence host. I'd kill that job, but I'm not known enough to. I mean, I love doing these live streams. Interacting with the fans. I mean, listen, ultimately, I mean, I don't do the road a lot because it just doesn't pay enough when you're at my level of fame, which is very little. Um, but if I'm ever in your guys' town, New York or Canada or Chicago or wherever, um, you say, "Hey, man, I could see Earl live tonight." So, we'll see what happens. I mean, I got some interesting projects in the works, and you never know if they come to fruition or not. I can't tell you how many TV pilots I've done that never aired, and some were never even pitched. I was on a show, a pilot we did in 2012 called Damaged Goods. It was like uh, The Office meets Always Sunny. It was just a workplace sitcom. I was the creepy guy in the office, right up my alley. I remember one of the scenes I had with Melissa Villasenor, who went on to SNL, was I was deep throating a lollipop by the water cooler, and I just looked at her and goes, "Want a lick?" Um, and then I think she quit the pilot the next day. uh, yeah, I mean, Dr. Nova, Dante is working. Dante is out of control, man. You notice he doesn't do the Black Lives Matter stuff anymore because it's not in the news. What are the odds of Dante and Golden Artist Entertainment waving up a Palestinian flag? Get the fuck out of here. I mean, I will have a special out at some point, but I also want to make sure I can get on bigger podcasts to promote it. Like, I don't want to put out a special just to have it have 400 views on YouTube. I have no interest in putting out a special that no one's going to watch. And that is frankly now how specials are promoted. You go on Rogan, you go on Bobby Lee's podcast, Santino, or whatever. Well, I don't want to give out too many details. I've already actually shot the opening. It's basically the opening credits montage has already been shot, cut, and edited at a significant cost. Um, that I paid for. I didn't do a GoFundMe or I didn't panhandle for you guys to pay for my special super chats. Maybe I should just call the special super chat. uh, well, but you have to do it, Boulder Johnny. It's like ultimately, I mean, there's really just a few venues for specials. You can go on HBO. My friend Alex Edelman just had his special on HBO. He's on billboards all over LA. Obviously, a lot of people want it on Netflix because that's the biggest streaming number that you could hope to get your special in front of. Or you can do what Ari Shafir does and put it on YouTube. And I think Ari, I don't know if he does it for every special, but I think he does basically like pay what you want. Pay $1, pay 20, pay 100, pay nothing. Here's a special. Um, so it's one of those things that well, but that's they're pretty open about it though. Like I respect Bert and Tom. Like they're almost like Gene Simmons in the standpoint of Gene's open about how he shills kissed rubbers, toilet paper, kiss toilets, kiss coffins. Uh, I respect that. Like he's honest about it. I'm into rock and roll for money and pussy. I don't care about, saving the world. And he had the best quote about, Nirvana and Mother Love Bone and Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and all these bands who talk about the depressing aspects of life. He's like, hey, if you're so unhappy, Kurt Cobain and, you know, Eddie Vedder, "Send me your publishing checks." Uh, I mean, but Ari is a lot more known than I am. Now if I was going on Rogan every few months, I might be a little more aggressive with my comedy because I think Joe would like that. And, you know, not a guarantee. I think people think that if you do Rogan, you're like a superstar, but, you have to have good chemistry with Rogan. You can't just go on there, sit there and have Joe stare at you. You have to be funny and you have to have good chemistry. It's like, uh, I think how I would do on Rogan would kind of be like how I did on Adam Carolla. The first 10 minutes, I was a little quiet because I'm trying to pick up Adam's pace and how he likes, and, it's his show. So I'm lucky enough to be on it. And then, I would kind of pick up on Adam's nonverbal cues, like him when he would ask me something or speak, he'd kind of look at me like, okay, it's your turn. And then I picked up on that. Uh, I mean, I didn't watch it. Like I said, drunken, I don't watch. Um, yeah, I mean, art is a huge draw, man. I mean, I can't even get the Denver Comedy Club to return my emails, and they probably would only feature me. They wouldn't even headline me, I get. Uh, I mean, Bert's relatable. I mean, how many Comedy Store people left for the mothership? I don't really know. I mean, Red Band, Hinchcliffe, I think, Derek posted in Asan. What up, Chris Mack? Uh, Adam Eggett's the booker. I think Carrie Mitchell's the bar manager. She was the bar manager at the store. So probably about 15 to 20 people. Good evening, Chris Mack. Good luck to your Bruins. I mean, that game is on in, I don't know, about a half hour. So, another good game tonight. Of course, Simon Morning with the Los Angeles Kings, bowing out to the Edmonton Oilers 4-1. I was all set to go tomorrow night, but you could tell that Bobby was really pissed at Joe for changing the LA comedy scene. Well, I mean, Joe's definitely put his stamp on the Austin comedy scene, and but he's done a lot of good things. I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize how many careers Joe has made. I mean, Joe is the new Johnny Carson. You get on Rogan, and if it's a good interview, you can, if I went on Rogan tomorrow and it was a really good interview, I'm headlining a club next weekend. It's just the way it works. Um, so, oh, I don't know anything about Burst podcast. No, I got stuff to do tonight, so I well, he's funny to a lot of people though, Drunken Donuts. Now, I'm not trying to tell you who you should think is funny, but um, when you sell out theaters and borderline stadiums, you know, you're funny to a lot of people. But I feel what you're saying. A lot of people don't think I'm funny. You know, what are you gonna do? Welcome to Hollywood. Uh, yeah, but my point is, like, he has a massive podcast because people think he's funny. You know, yes, AEW was very good last night. They're clearly, they're listening to me. AEW. Um, yeah, I mean, Rogan had money. He was making money on news radio. What was that? 30 years ago. So, he's doing and did what every comic wants. You find a huge group of people who think you're funny. That's what I'm trying to do in this stream. Now, I only have 8 people in here, but someday I hope to have 800 people and then 8,000 people and whatnot. Um, No, I'm a soldier. I think Bert's a little higher up than a soldier. Uh, well, his friends, are funny in varying degrees. I mean, um, but it depends what you like. Like I don't like rap, so I'm not. Oh boy, up and this. I don't know about that. We got PLD for another 7 years. But I will say this, and we can jump in and now we can talk hockey and wrestling, whatever. I mean, Dubois is not the reason the Kings lost 4 games to 1. Um, Now, yes, he had 2 goals in the last 21 games. He did not have a good opening season for the Kings, but you know, and people acting like if we would have kept Velarde, Iafallo, and Kapari, we would have done. We wouldn't have beat the Oilers with those 3 on the roster either. So, listen, the Kings took a shot with Dubois. So far, it's missed. But this is his pattern: is he struggled his first year in Columbus, he struggled his first year in Winnipeg, and then he picks up the pace. But I don't think he realized it. Doughty and Kopitar, they don't have the time to wait for him. Their time is now, brother. And I think the problem with Dubois is he shows you just enough, and then he reverts back. He's like the girlfriend who cheats on you, you know, and you're the new boyfriend. And you can reverse it, the boyfriend who cheats and you're the new, uh, you know, you think, well, they're not going to cheat on me. I'm different. And I think the Kings are the new boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. Well, we're going to get them to play defense. We're going to get them to play a 200-foot game. And then you look at, Columbus couldn't do it. Winnipeg couldn't do it. And so far, the Kings haven't done it. He's had a problem with 4 NHL coaches: John Tortorella in Columbus, Rick Bowness in Winnipeg, um, you know, Todd McClellan and Jim Hiller in Los Angeles. So at some point, it's on you. And I don't think he realizes, or maybe he doesn't care, that he's about to cost Rob Blake, the GM who traded for him, his fucking job. I mean, you got to care at some point. Do you feel like you let Kenny Omega down for not being there last night? You knew something was going down. I should have been the ambulance driver, man. Well, yeah, but see, that's the beauty of this stream. Like, you guys can come on and say, "I don't think this comic's funny." I don't, if you don't like roast humor, you're not going to think me or Hinchcliffe are funny. Uh, if you like, wordplay, then you're going to think Tony's funny. If you like dry and sarcasm, you're going to think I'm funny. Um, yeah, but that guy gets laughs, Drunken Donuts. Uh, you know, I mean, but see, that's why I'm going to have to secede to you guys in the stream. I don't watch comedy, so I know the machine story about the Russian mob and all that. But I mean, listen, Bert's playing the Honda Center, and he plays where the LA Kings play. I can barely get into the belly room these days. Would you rather be a recurring character in AEW or have a stand-up special? See, that's a tough one because the first thing could lead to the stand-up special. Obviously, my biggest problem is I'm not as known as I should be. So if I could be a manager in AEW, say for Mercedes Moné, and I could have some segments with Don Callis and Prince Nana, I'm going to build up a following really fast. I'll go from 12,000 followers on Instagram to, by All in London, having 100,000 followers. And then networks go, hey, you want to do a special? I mean, that's just how the business works. But since I'm a 25-year stand-up, I'd rather have a special on Netflix. Uh, oh yeah, Bert's awesome. Like, he's a great guy. I can't tell you one joke, to be honest. Like a DD, you're kind of new to the stream, so you probably don't know a lot about me personally. I don't watch stand-up, you know. I don't. So I couldn't tell you one Bert bit. I couldn't tell you one Rogan bit. People think because me and Hinchcliffe have known each other for 15 years, We've probably watched each other do stand. I don't know about him watching me, but I can honestly tell you, I've never watched Tony do stand up. I had to go on after him one night in the main room. So I was in the green room, kind of listening, but not really. I just want, because I know when he says, "Are you guys ready for one more comic?" That's my cue to get up from the couch in the green room. But I don't watch other people do stand up because I want to do stand up. I don't want to watch it. Yeah, basically, Dr. Nova. Well, but see, I mean, listen, I'm not trying to tell you, DD, that you have to think Bert Kreischer is funny. I'm not trying to tell you you have to think Rogan is funny or I'm funny. But I don't it's hard for me to believe someone isn't funny and they're playing hockey arenas. There aren't that many stupid people in the world. Well, I mean, it's not just that, see? Yeah, I mean, I'd never watched one episode of Seinfeld. It's probably the most well-known sitcom in the history of television. And Seinfeld's never really made me laugh, and he's arguably a top 5 comic of all time. But that opens up a whole whole 'nother Pandora's box of, um, you know, it's like great guitar players, great drummers, great bass players, great singers, great hockey players. It's all subjective. Comedy is really subjective. I really haven't. Well, I did watch The Wire. I mean, I think Bert's like the kiss of comedy. Is he the greatest technical joke writer? To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you because, like I said, I don't listen to him. But, it's like the same people who say Kiss suck as musicians. They've been a successful band for 50 years. No one's successful for that long in their craft and suck. You might not like them, but, when you're Bert and you can play the Hollywood Bowl, which is a venue Kiss just played. Uh, but see, I disagree though, because I take my shirt off to do comedy. It gets them laughs, so he's funny to them. Now, you might be the type that wants to hear a George Carlin 10-minute bit on, the news or whatever, and that's comedy as well. You know how many times I've taken my shirt off at the Comedy Store to get a laugh? Because in my case, I'm going on at the end of the night, the crowd's dead, I gotta wake them up, or, sometimes I'll come out singing to, Judas Priest, "Breaking the Law." Is that funny? Probably not, but it gets laughs. When a 55-year-old guy comes out in leather pants, no shirt, and goes, "There I was completely wasted, out of work and down. All this time is so frustrated as I drift from town to town, feeling like nobody cares if I live or die. So I might as well begin to put some action in my life." Kansas City say, "Breaking the law, breaking the law." And the crowd's looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But you know what? They're clapping and laughing. I'm a man who says whatever it takes to get a laugh. I mean, I've done Buffalo Bill on stage. Is that stand up? Not really, but it gets laughs. Um, I mean, listen, what's the smallest crowd you've ever performed in front of? I mean, 0. I mean, I was performing to 0 people one night in the original room at the Comedy Store, and, Bob Saget walked in, and then the crowd got, you know, bigger. So the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of, asking myself my own question, probably with Rob Schneider at a theater. Um, I think in New Mexico we played a huge Indian casino. Must have sat 1,000 people easy. So that was cool. Um, well, but even with Shab, I would, yeah. I mean, he's not funny. He's not a funny comic, but he's not a comic. He's a, he's a MMA fighter who retired, and I don't know who said, "Hey, you should get into stand up." It'd be like someone telling me, "Hey, you should quit comedy and get into MMA." It's literally the same thing. I mean, I don't think he's funny, but he's likable, like because he's kind of got that golly gee, Goober and Gomer, fucking, Jethro Bodine, vibe about him. But to me, his problem, and I would say this to his face, is he never really worked at his stand up. He just because he knew he didn't have to, and that was his problem was he started off playing clubs. He didn't start off at open mics to learn the structure of jokes, and he just, oh well, I'm a famous MMA fighter. I got popular through being on the Rogan show. Fuck it. Um, I mean, I don't think he performed solo at Chandler. Boy, people love bringing up Chandler. Hey, give Chandler Barbie a follow. Just don't troll her, because then she'll think I did it. She'll think I was on orders. It's either at Chan Barbie or at Chandler Barbie. Give her a follow, man. I got no beef. I've even given her credit for how she moved out. It was like a prolonged exit. I thought I was losing my mind, and then one day she was gone. Come on, man. Don't talk about my ex like that. Uh, well, I'm sure Jeff will call the comedy store owner and get me in trouble. Well, I mean, I'm not saying you have to play shithole, you know, biker bars like Michael's Pub or the Whiskey Bend, but like part of what made me a good comic was the struggle in those rooms. So then when I'm on the main stage at the comedy store, I'm like, this is fucking gravy. Um, yeah, basically, William. I mean, and then there was like a picture gone, and I thought, she was so good at moving out. I mean, she's a very smart girl. That I thought, man, I'm losing my mind, man. Like, was there a picture there yesterday? And then I thought, oh, I'm just tired. And then 2 days later, maybe something was over there was taken, and then oh, yeah, I mean, most good chefs started out as dishwashers. You just don't walk into Spago and become the head chef like my friend Danny. Uh, no, no, I mean, I would blame that breakup. I would say it was 50-50. I'm honest. Um, so yeah. You're talking. Do comics hate Brendan Schaub? I don't think people hate him. I mean, I don't hate him. I mean, that's the thing is when it's like the super streams or whatever these things are called, the Earlverse, the Levyverse, Julie, Seal Toe, all those guys, the Dabbleverse. Um, I'm sure someone's going to stream snipe this at some point and go, this guy sucks. This guy's boring. This guy's that. So, we all know the deal when we stream on YouTube. Someone's going to clip your show and say you suck. Look at the background. There's a plastic bag. There's a paper bag in the background. This guy sucks. You know, no, I mean, it was, I think she was, we both had roast personalities. She was actually pretty cool to hang with, but we haven't talked in like 2 years. Um, well, I mean, that's the problem, William, is um, I'm not around 55-year-old women. And yes, I am, Doug. Yes, I am. Uh, she shall remain nameless. Jesus, Dunkin' Donuts. Sure, I was beginning to like you, but we don't do potty talk in here. We don't do potty talk in here. Um, we talk about hockey, wrestling, and Brendan Schaub. We'll just turn this into the Brendan Schaub stream. I mean, that's that one group on Reddit. That's like 60,000 people in that one, what is it? Nobody hates onions or something, like something, some weird name. I went in once and I was called a piazza like after like literally 3 minutes in the stream. I'm like, okay, I'm out. But low flow toilets, well, it's good to save water in this day and age. We got 20 minutes, guys, before I watch a little. Yeah, homeless cats. Uh, it's like someone told me, "Hey, go in there and say you're a Comedy Store paid regular. They'll love you in there." And I thought, "Hey, 60,000 people. I'll go in there, and you could still probably find it in Reddit." Uh, hey guys, Earl Skakel, Comedy Store paid regular. If you got any questions about the Comedy Store, blah blah blah. And then the first question, literally 5 seconds after I, signed on to the group, was how tall is Joe Rogan? I'm 6'1", and I said, well, me and Joe always hug each other. I'd say he's about 5'9". And then 2 seconds later, you're a fucking liar. You're just trying to get on his podcast. I'm like, I don't know how tall he is. I'm 6'1". I hug him. He comes up to, I don't know, like chin level on me. That's about 5'9". I don't walk around with a fucking measuring stick. The tallest, Gary Goldman's pretty tall, isn't he? About 6'5". So, but the tallest comic I know is Dave Taylor, Comedy Store Dave Taylor. Thank you, 818 till I die. Get your money in advance. So thank you. What are you, my business advisor? Um, nah, it's too far for me to go, man. I'm not going to comedy. My comedy wouldn't translate well in North Korea, so I'm not. Well, no, I honestly don't know how tall Joe is. I was at the mothership, you know what, a month ago. As soon as I walked in the green room, he got up, he hugged me. You know, I don't walk around with a ruler going, "Hey, Joe, can you stand still for a second?" Um, Doug, you got a super chat for song requests. If this is karaoke, I got to get paid for karaoke. But you only can, I only know Rat songs, the Click Five. I don't think it would, Dr. Nova. Would you let Madonna urinate on your chest? No, I would not. I'm not into that butt play or water sports. I'm into regular sex. Thank you very much. And I know we have a few lurkers in here. So interesting. Very interesting. Madonna now or Madonna 30 years ago. Madonna now would probably make a boo-boo and make a doo-doo on my chest. I'm good on that. But she is attractive for a woman in her, 60s? Have you ever met the dude Jake Flores? I saw a video of him getting punched at a pro-Palestine demonstration. No, I don't know who Jake Flores is. And I would not be at a pro-Palestine or pro-Israel riot or whatever you want to call it, protest. What up, Brittany? I love lurking. I know we have some female lurkers in here, and I don't blame you. This stream, with people asking me if I've ever finished on a girl's face, I can see why women would not go, "Hey, I'm here, guys." Listen, I don't really have a type. I've dated women with giant boobs. I've dated women with no boobs. I've dated short women. I've dated tall women. I've dated women in between. I dated young women. When I was 46, I dated a 19-year-old. When I was when I was probably 32, I dated a 40-year-old for 6 years. I've dated Asian women. So I have dated an Asian woman for 6 years, almost married her, but I fucked that one up. So, but she's happily married and has a great family, but we still talk. Not a lot, but her parents, unfortunately, recently passed away within the last 2 years, pretty close together. So, but before that, they would always invite me over for dinner. I mean, 20 years after we broke up, they would still invite me over for dinner. The Motorhead girl, yes, she was the one I dated in the early 2000s for 6 years. She was not Asian though; she was from Sweden. Um, I mean, I don't want to get into the ones that I considered the one that got away. I mean, you know, I'll keep that to myself because I know some of you animals in the stream will start tweeting that if I were to say, and then then I get in trouble because then she's gonna think I'm the one. I like that. William Zoom. I like that one. I'm a pretty good guy, so I think even with the last uh, situation I was in, now that it's been a few years, I think they would say that, but maybe not from what I understand. So I try and concentrate on the positives in life. Um, I mean, not really. I'm shucking and jiving, trying to make an honest buck. We got 13 minutes, kiddies, in the stream. So get those questions. You can ask about exes. I'm honest Earl. Thank you very much. I don't run from the stream. Yeah, I mean, but Chris Mack, you only know what you know when you know it. Well, I like to get people to know that, in 12 minutes I will hit end stream. So that hopefully will stimulate more um, comments and, like last night, we got some super chats coming in. People going, "Oh, I better super chat now. It's going to end in 12 minutes." And I don't do it for that reason, but um, I do it just to have, I can't do these streams forever, in terms of, I've got stuff to do. I do these streams to frankly try and get into the algorithm. Now I've been told to, but I can't sit here for hours. I'm not complaining, but uh, right now, I'm not going to lie and say these streams are. I'm losing money because it's not costing me money, but I'm not exactly killing it. I mean, I like where it's heading. I have noticed in the last couple weeks that a lot more wrestling fans have come into the stream. Not tonight, but I've noticed there's been more hockey talk. Ideally, I want people to come in here, hundreds of people at some point, where we talk hockey, wrestling, politics, and we don't even mention the Dabbleverse or anyone that's in it. But I certainly realize right now that a lot of you come from the Dabbleverse. Not all of you, but a fair amount of you. So it's a necessary evil. I know Chris Mack is in a lot of the streams. Uh, I saw someone did a stream when they were sleeping. Some girl. Now, granted, she's a hot girl. Uh, so, um, and she got like thousands of dollars of super chats, and she probably didn't read them. She probably just woke up, saw the super chats, and just said, "Okay, cool." Um, I've looked into wacky ideas like that. Someone last night wanted me to do a 24-hour stream. Fuck, there's not enough money in the world where you could get me to do that. Yeah, I mean, I have seen some of the weird streams, absolutely. Well, but yeah, but you can talk to me about comedy and who I am, but, there's also a fair amount of people wrestling is a controversial subject. Who's the best wrestler of all time? I say Hulk Hogan, you say Ric Flair, and then we start arguing or whatever. And then other people chime in and super chat and all that stuff. That's what gets the fucking party started. Uh, a 40-day stream, fuck that. I don't even know who Little Lemmy is. Yeah, fuck roast battle. See what you did there, Jordan? Yeah, I mean, uh, have you seen the Ugandan soft ground wrestling? I have not. I mean, I would say the best I mean, my Mount Rushmore of wrestling would be Flair, Sting, Hogan, and The Rock. I mean, you can't argue with The Rock's success. Um, and then, you could uh yeah, but I think the difference is, I would agree and disagree with you at the same time, Jordan, is, like I don't have any Mitzi stories. I've got stories about late night and, going on last. So well, I mean, the Ultimate Warrior was not like a top. My personal favorites would be Sting, Warrior, Rick Rude, and Osprey or Omega. Um, you know, but I'm talking about mainstream. Like if I was picking the Hall of Fame for baseball, Dave Parker should be in the Hall of Fame. That's my. But if you were to go to most baseball experts, I don't think very many people would say, well, his prime was too short. But still, he was the best player in the game for 3 to 5 years, arguably. Yeah. Well, I do talk about myself. But so much of my life is comedy that it ends up. And I think when people ask me questions about comedy, they know I'm going to give them the real deal answer. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. Um, so I'm still finding my voice in this thing. Well, I mean, you gotta play both sides of the fence. But I do see what Jordan is saying. A lot of comedy store stories have been told 1,000 times. But I'm from really this second renaissance era of the store, starting with, Tommy, the talent coordinator, getting fired, roast battle blowing up, Rogan coming back. Not many people have told a lot of those stories. Uh, I mean, A1A coming in hot with the political takes. Uh, uh, A18, are you trolling me or are you just trying to stir the pot? I welcome all trolls in here. I mean, hey, I've got 13 people in here. That's more than I have most nights. Does the building like you all? Well, I mean, the building's black. How the hell am I supposed to concentrate? Say, yeah. I mean, there's still some, like, I started in the back with, Jordan and Hinchcliffe and Danish and O'Neill, Great Lakes Carbon. That's a super chat subject, Doctor Nova. I can't delve into but I mean, Dr. No Drunken Donuts, I will talk about that stuff, but there's also people like Jordan and others who like pro wrestling. So I've got to cater to the 16 people in here. Uh, well, I will agree with you, 818 till I die, that the world is laughing at us. Well, the building's black, but the signatures are white. Well, who do you think made that decision? Say, hey, I'm a man of color. I mean, white's a color, right? Hello. That's a Skakel classic there. Or I could do a joke of the day at the end of the stream. I asked Sam why comics hate Red Bar. Well, I think Sam has beef with Red Bar. I've spoken to Red Bar a few times via Instagram. I mean, he's nice to me, but he definitely goes hard in the paint. Goes hard in the paint. Um, Well, I mean, the today the stream was, the hockey was a starting point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't like a lot of the regulars on Kill Tony. They've gotten very big for their britches, I would say. I'm the type now that I want to work with people I like. I mean, I'm friends with Tony and Red Band, not so much with like William Montgomery and David Lucas. I'm good. I'm not going to Austin to hang out with those cats. So, you know, but yeah, and I realized that it would get me a large following. Um, it's kind of like selling out, though. I mean, I don't find William Montgomery funny, but I'm not saying he's not funny. I'm just saying he doesn't make me laugh. It's funny for 5 minutes. And then it's like, okay, it's like Larry the Cable Guy, it's like, get her done. Okay, that's funny for a couple minutes, but then it's like, you want to listen to that for an hour? I don't. But I rarely will say someone's not funny because it's just not for me. I mean, Shab's about the only one who, objectively is not funny in any capacity. And that's no shade or hate towards him. It's just, uh, he didn't put in the time. So he doesn't have the skills to pick up the pace. It literally would be like if I started at the age of 55 MMA. I'd be horrible at it. Um, he struggles to do a new minute every week. And anyone could do it. You, Drunken Donuts, I know nothing about you. I don't know your age. I don't know anything about you. You could go and kill Tony and do 1 minute. 1 minute. It's not hard. Um, so now I will say this. He did apologize to me about 2 years ago. I was in Austin, and he came up to me and says, "Hey, man, I know you don't like me, but I'm sorry for how I acted at the Comedy Store." Because at the Comedy Store, he'd get really wasted. He'd heckle the paid regulars, which is a huge no-no at the Comedy Store. Like, if you're not a paid regular there and you're a comic, shut up, sit in the back and watch and learn, you know, um, because all 3 rooms at the Comedy Store have different energy and a different vibe. Um, so um, and he apologized to me. So I mean, we're not enemies or anything. But I just, I understand and appreciate the character he's doing, like the hillbilly thing. But it's anyone can do comedy for 1 minute. You could literally go up to anyone on the street and go, "Be funny for a minute." So I don't know if you hate Peter Parker. Well, you're more than welcome to. Well, I've never seen Ray do stand-up. Of course, I will see him do stand-up at Hackamania. So, I don't know if he's funny or not. Uh, well, that's how I am. I mean, I've apologized to very few people in comedy because if I say something, I mean it, and I don't apologize for stuff that I mean. I have not sat in John Hines's box at Three Rivers. Sorry. Uh, Hopefully, Argus is my next door neighbor. To be honest with you, Hoof Big Black. I like your name. Who first paid you to do comedy? My first paid comedy gig was actually no shit at a gangbang. $2,500 to do like a half hour crowd work to the people in line at the gangbang. Um, so and I was pretty bad at the time. Thank you for clicking the like button. We got 19 people in here. I appreciate that. Um, Hold on, I'm getting the text. Hold on, I'm getting the text. I got to answer real fast. Hold on, man. Sorry, I don't have a. I don't have a producer. I got to do my own shit. I got to multitask. 818 till I die. Before I leave, I'm getting the sense you don't like Melton, but that's fine. And a lot of people call me hypocritical for doing Hackmania and saying, "Well, I don't like the Dabbleverse." I'm a comic. Hackmania is going to have a near or sold out comedy room. Why wouldn't I want to do that? The construction over at my unit number 1 is done. The construction over there is fucking 8 months. They've been putting a new roof on 8 months. So yes, Argus is my neighbor. Oh, I mean, Argus is a legend. A comedy legend. I think he had like more Tonight Show appearances than anyone but Tom Dreesen, who had like the most. Like that's insane. Um, so he's pretty iconic in the LA comedy world. All right, let's wrap it up here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Listen, if you guys don't like each other in the stream, keep it cool. Keep it cool. You guys can argue amongst each other. I try and avoid crosstalk in this chat, but you know what? You get what you pay for. You're the star. Paid in full before you go. I and others have seen you a ton in the last decade. 818, are you talking about me or Peter Parker? See, that's the problem with crosstalk in the stream. I don't know who's talking to who at some point. Daddy Man, days with Jordan the line. You're out of control. Days with Jordan the Lion, $10. Wrestling talk stays. Jordan is an actual friend. Jordan is a comedy soldier. Just for Jordan, I'll do this. That's the Prince Nana dance. I appreciate you, 818 till I die. Well, I've done JFL twice, but now JFL is out of business. So, yes, Jordan got save his money. He just bought a Will Ospreay ring-worn jacket that is the real fucking deal. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we're coming, boys. Now we're coming. Hold on. Gotta take my supplements. Queenon, $9.99. More Shab talk. The $20 stream in the house. Breaking news. Might be my most profitable stream ever. Thank you to my tippers, Jordan the Line and Queenon. QAnon is that. I'm not sure how you want me to say it, but listen, I'll talk about anything in the stream, especially if you pay for it. Show me the money, honey. Every time I've met Shab, he's been nice to me. One time I was parking in the Argus spot, which is the front of the parking lot. There's one space for Argus, It's respect. And I got out of my Jeep, and Lois jumped out of the car like she was a real wild card that night. And Shab was coming out in his Porsche, and he almost ran her over. And I was about to yell at him because I didn't know it was him. And he rolls down the window, and I'm like, hey, no problem, man." Now, Drunken Donuts, I will not have you talk to other people in the stream like that. You don't like Peter Parker? That's fine. It's like a couple months ago, I was walking. Jordan will know where this is. On La Cienega and Holloway. There's a 7-Eleven I go to. So I was in the crosswalk walking. All of a sudden, this black SUV is about to run the light and hit me. And he stops. And I went to flip him off. And I looked up, and it was Dolph Lundgren. So I waved to him. I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm fake as fuck when I have to be." Yeah, we come here and chill and have fun. And, we joke around. We got, by the way, shout out to Fajita Cologne for sending me an autographed Kamala picture. I don't mean Kamala Harris, Jack. If he dies, he dies. So, thank you to Fajita Cologne. And, well, I almost made Britt Baker break her ankle when I was at the Grove, and I saw Britt Baker, and she was, I think, on her phone. She was, like, texting someone, probably Adam Cole, Bay. And I just tapped her on the shoulder. I'm like, "Hey, you're one of the reasons I watch AEW," and she fell off the curb. Hello. Well, he's actually a giant from Tupelo, Mississippi, if you know what I'm saying. Earl, can you 5150 weigh $1,000? If you do, you got to pay me first for that, and then the wheels of justice start. You guys can't ask me to do something and then say, "I'll pay you after you do it." You pay me before I do it. The money, honey. I'm just kidding. So I'm a little hyped up that I made $20 in the stream. I'm not doing streaming to make money. As the great William Zoom said, I am a bartender. If you like what you hear and see, you tip me. If not, hit the like button. It's free. Well, Peter Sky Parker, my stream is not about money, to be honest with you. Yes. But I agree with you. I realize, believe me, my stream, Peter Sky Parker, is anything about is anything but money. I only got excited because I made $20. That's all. I think super chats have made streams. How should I say this? They've made the host beholden to streams. But if you look at me, I answer almost every question for free. So, I mean, well, but my Peter Sky Parker, my super chat or Patreon money is my voiceover work. So that's why I do answer most of, I probably answer 90% of the questions in here. And, probably 89% of them are free. I mean, at some point you gotta casually bring up super chats just so people go, "Oh yeah, we can tip them," or whatever. But I think out of all the people that you guys listen to, I'm the least aggressive, clearly. But that's also why I only have 21 people in here. I mean, Kevin Brennan today had like 900 people in his stream. Melton had like 650. Shuley had like over 1,000. So. Well, I mean, but I look at this. Yeah, I mean, I super chat people because if I find them funny, I like it's respect. Like I've probably super chatted Kevin Brennan over the last 2 years, $100 or $200. I think I've super chatted Jordan once or twice. I don't get notification. Oh, I do see when you're on, you shoot to the top of my screen, but and I'm actively encouraging people to go to my friends' streams, really just Jordan's, and super chat him. And Jordan has like 400,000 people subscribe. So he don't need me helping him get a couple extra bucks in there. But, if you realize the work that Jordan does on his streams, the music, the editing, just the physical act of going to, say, the Tropicana in Vegas, lugging your camera around for our enjoyment, you should tip him. My streams are fairly low effort. I literally come in here, I turn this on, and I hit record. Now I put money into this stream, bought a new high def camera, the neon light, just so you guys could have something to look at other than my fucking kitchen and my Sting doll right there. Um, whoa, my bad. This is carbonated. My bad. Yeah, I mean, Jordan's on Patreon too. Jordan, put your Patreon in the chat. I mean, my Earl neon sign is pretty cool, but that cost me $500. I don't see too many people putting that kind of money into a stream that makes no money. I do like talking about money and super chats and all that because I do think it's a fascinating topic too. I mean, and that's where Kevin Brennan's the puppet master. He's found a way to not just make a few dollars, but like make a living doing that. Now, I would still do stand up because I'm only a few years younger than Kevin. Because I love being in front of a live crowd, which is why I'm doing Hackamania. So, by the way, 3 days before Hackamania, I will be in a new vehicle. So, if you will be there, um, you will see the new Daddy Man vehicle. Um, well, Daniel, I'll put up with a little bit of that. I'm a pretty healthy guy. And, I paid Joe Earl from Roast Battle to make this painting, half Earl, half berry jelly. So, I'm thankful to you guys. I'm the little stream that could. I do not. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, so I'm looking over. This is the crazy thing. I deal with a car broker, and he just sent me a an estimate or whatever through Ford Credit Leasing on a Ford Bronco. This is fucking crazy, broskis. $5,000 down on a 36-month lease for a Ford Bronco. The payment would be $929. I think that's fucking rent. That's almost what I pay my mortgage. So I will not be getting this Ford Bronco, but I gotta be honest with you, it does look pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see this or not. Well, this, hold on. Trying to get the glare. Sorry. Oh yeah. So that would be $929 a month for 3 years. So, you know, that's quite. I mean, I make good money, but I'm not Russell Peters, babies. Yeah, I mean, I do feel I should get a Bronco because it would. I think spiritually connect me with the Orenthal James system. Uh, well, I mean, that's with his deal. So if I walked into the Galpin, you think that's bad? I went on, and you guys could go check this out. Galpin Ford, and I think it's Van Nuys. Jordan might know that. They had a 2024 Ford Bronco, but it's dressed up like it's from the 70s. So it's really cool and unique looking, but it's a lot of aftermarket parts on it. Brand new, no miles. $5,000 down, and because of all the aftermarket bullshit they put on it, the payments $1,700 a month. Like, it's fucking nuts. So I work best under pressure, so I've got 3 weeks to, yes, the Heritage Bronco. But, Galpin Ford does, like, their own version of the Heritage Bronco, like, it's a lot of, added I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I get nervous when I talk about money and drink non-carbonated, energy drinks. My bad, my bad. That's impossible. He does not pay $1,800 a month insurance. There's no way he pays, uh, what would that be? $25,000 a year in insurance, unless he's driving a slant nose Porsche. I'm starting to look at Audis, uh, but yeah, I mean, I do like the, F-250s and the F-150s, but, my garage, I don't think I could fit a F-150 in my space. Um, but, we'll see. I mean, um, I looked at BMWs. No, drunk. I mean, slant nose Porsche. Um, oh, well, that may be true. Obviously, I don't know that. Peter Sky Parker. Yeah, I mean, I've looked at, Mustangs. My uh, what was it? My second car was a Mustang. My first car was a BMW 318i. So, what I'm going to do is, I love going to car dealerships at night when I have Lois because I walk around the dealership lot and cops drive by and they're like, "Oh, he's just walking his dog." It's a great time to shop for cars at 2 or 3 in the morning. Wow, that's yeah. I mean, there's some great cars out there. And then what was it? I think not an Audi, but some kind of Honda SUV. But it's like their Dodge Magnum type. So I got to look at cars and just it's confusing on the websites. Uh, yeah, John Smith heading out to the highway. You got nothing for nothing, and your hands ain't on the wheel. Uh, well, it is, but I love to shop. There's also the Thousand Oaks Auto Mall, which is about at 3 in the morning. It's about a 45-minute drive from where I live, and it's every car dealer you can imagine, from Rolls Royce to Panteras to Mercedes to and I just walk Lois, and there's no security at this place. I've never once in the probably 10 to 15 times where I just want to can't sleep, so I'll just drive out there and look at cars. I've never once seen a security guard there. How the car thieves don't hit this place. I think there was a Pantera dealership there. Vintage though. That's the car Vince Neil killed the drummer from Hanoi Rocks. And yeah, I'll get a purple Stutz so I can be like Heidi Fleiss's lawyer, big. I remember one time I'm stopped at Sunset in Doheny, and Fig, who was Heidi Fleiss's lawyer and a known lover of underage women, boy, were his house parties creepy. Um, Pulls up next to me. He looks at me and just gives me a nod. And he had a cat on his shoulder, just chilling. And I'm like, "Hey, Paul, where's the pussy tonight?" He's like, "In my face, where it should be." And then he just took off. Um, a Pantera, yeah. If you look up Vince Neil killing Razzle, the drummer from Hanoi Rocks, to a drunk driving accident, he was driving a Pantera. So everyone follow Days with Jordan the Lion on YouTube, the number one travel vlog on YouTube, and he serves as an inspiration to me. I mean, Jordan started out with less followers than I have, and he's now at like 400,000 subscribers. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go through Holtzman to get a car. I'll prefer my broker. Yeah, I mean, I just have to. Oh yeah, I went to one party at Fig's house, and it was like Fig and Bill Gazzari. I mean, I was pretty young myself, maybe 20, 21, and it was up above the Rainbow, like one of those streets, like east of Doheny, but west of La Cienega, and and this was the late 80s. I think it was 89. So I was literally 21. And, the strip was just about to burst. The bubble, the glam band bubble was about to burst. And I remember, I think it was Fig's house, but it might have been Gazzari's house, to be honest with you. Oh, Jesus, man. I apologize. Um, and I remember like doing a lap, and there were a lot of young girls. I mean, I was 21, and there were girls in there at least 5 years younger than me. I mean, do you like Tim and Eric? Not I don't I've heard of them, but I don't know anything about them. Yeah, and he had a purple Stutz that was very much like Angeline's pink Corvette. Like, he would drive all over the Sunset Strip, and everyone would you could see the car coming a mile away. It was like seeing Dog the Bounty Hunter in line at Walmart. Oh, that's Dog the Bounty Hunter. You'd see a purple Stutz on the Sunset Strip. It's like, oh, Fig's here. Um, Now he is alive. It's really sad. If you his last name is Fegan, so I think it's if you look up Paul Fegan, I don't know how you would spell that. There was a Facebook page and it gives his health updates. And man, Jordan, since you know who he is, if you saw him, fuck, man, you'd be pretty bummed out. I mean, would you bang Angeline? I mean, probably. She used to come into the gym I worked at, Sports Connection, in the early 90s, and with no makeup, and she was kind of pretty without all that shit on her face. Before I go, I'm going to attempt to spell Paul Fegan's name. I think it's Paul Fegan, something like that. If you look that up on Facebook, you might. It's really sad though. You see this guy, and he was never a good-looking guy. I mean, he made Ron Jeremy look like Marcus Schenkenberg, but um, um, it's really sad now. He's like bald. He has no teeth. My '80s crushes. Um, Amanda Peterson from Can't Buy Me Love. I mean, I'm not gonna say I was in love with her, but it's so sad how she ended up. Heather Thomas from The Fall Guy, but she was more of a '70s girl. The Landers sisters, Barbie Benton, Adrienne Barbeau. Yeah, I mean, I saw her with no makeup at like 9 in the morning at Sports Connection. She wasn't like awful looking and very quiet. Like I knew who she was. I forget her real name, but I knew it was her. And she's just called quiet, humble. She'd work out for about an hour, leave, wouldn't really say goodbye to anyone. She just was into her thing. 818 till I die. This is not the Alex Jones hour of the Earlverse. I'll see you at Bohemian Grove. I'll let you know. Just blink twice at me. Yeah, you're right. I don't go to Walmart. I'm not a poor. Although I do, Jordan, if you're still there, I'm thinking of buying that shirt on AEW or Pro Wrestling Tees. I guess it's the same fucking site. That is a gray sweatshirt that just says "I'm a poor." The chicken Top Gun. Yeah, I mean, she went full lesbian, which is fine. But I mean, she was cute. I'm trying to think. I mean, so many hot girls in the '80s. Cheryl Tiegs, but she was more '70s. Elle McPherson. If you look up the Westlife video, Westlife, the boy band from the UK, did a cover of Uptown Girl. I think like 2002. I didn't realize how I had just been turned on to this video, and Elle McPherson is in it. Wow. I mean, like that's just fucking perfection. Petra Shelley winner. Get the fuck out of here. Jordan will tell you about her. If you look up, you want to see my crush, probably my number one '80s crush was look up Petra Verkijk, the playmate with giant cans. I mean, Malones. So, what blonde chick lives near you? Peter Sky Parker. I mean, there's a lot of blonde. Valerie Perrine was my neighbor when I lived. I don't think I'm doxing myself. 8569 Burton Way. It's my first apartment on my own, 1988. And Valerie Perrine lived in the neighborhood. She was always walking her dog when I would walk mine. And You know, I never let her know I knew who she was, but in my head, I was like, fuck, I'm talking to Miss Tessbacher. No conspiracies left, Earl. Name one. The conspiracy of why I'm not in the Netflix is a joke festival. You tell me, 818 till I die. Oh, yeah, the lesbian. Good for you. Morgana. Yeah, Jesus. She had some Maloney's. Earl, do you have a Costco membership? No, man, I don't shop with the pores. Shit. I go on Rodeo Drive, All Saints, John Barbados, YSL. Brooke Worrell custom making me a leather jacket I just got in the mail that fits like it was laser cut. I don't shop off the rack with the pores. Ain't funny, Earl. Stop the poor shit. I can't, Daniel M. I'm too deep. I'm in too deep. I'm too lazy to go upstairs and get it. I got to get ready for yoga. And Daniel M., I'm doing a character. I'm like MJF. So we'll do a stream tomorrow night, probably around 5 o'clock. Thank you guys for making this a fun stream. Thank you to Jordan and Queenon for their financial tips. Do you know anyone who does make masks in Hollywood? I don't. Earl, who's your favorite emo rapper? I don't like emo rap. It's a lot of money. There's a lot of leather jackets. I mean, if you want me to go upstairs and get the one Brooke just custom made for me, that's a $5 to $10 super chat. This is where what my life has become. I'm now asking for super chats to try on leather jackets. I make my subreddit, Queenon. You have full authorization to make a subreddit for me called The Pores. Ate dinner while I watch. Have a good night. You too, Brittany. Thank you, Peter Sky Parker. I've seen your name in all the streams. Well, Dr. Nova, I got to get paid for internet modeling, baby doll. Find one. They know what's up. Tech is 100% lifelike. Can't tell the difference. It's all right, Peter Sky Parker. I like having people from other streams come in here. You know, we're just a fun, happy bunch in here. There's, very little trolling. I'm just trying to give you guys quality entertainment. I could have sat and watched the Maple Leafs Bruins game all by myself. And instead, for an hour and a half, I've entertained you guys. Dean Del Rey, of course, because he gets free jackets from him. I paid for my shit. Oh, okay. Well, I can. Ray DeVito's manager can be in here. I don't give a fuck. A18, I can't kick out Ray DeVito's manager. That's like 10% of the room. You know what I'm saying? So we got one more minute, guys. I mean, they got to win tonight. I mean, Boston's pretty good. Carolina looks pretty good. Big Black, I'll see you later, dude. Is that Big Black from Howard Stern? I mean, be humbled and honored. You would be considered a celebrity guest in here. So I would never work for Ray DeVito. Now, we're not talking about the infrastructure of people who would work for Ray DeVito or not. This is a friendly stream. And you too, Drunken Donuts. John Smith, I'd like it if the Leafs won the cup. Well, they're probably not going to. Their goaltending is a little wonky. Their defense is a little wonky. Whoa. Let's this TV just shot up like a cannon right now. Their problem is they put all their money in forwards, Tavares, Marner. They had to get rid of Hyman, Nylander. So, all right, this TV is out of control right now. I'm going to end the stream right now. San Diego Gulls. I knew Sandro Sabroka. Yeah, I know 20 people, but I got to go to yoga. 3, 2, 1. Good night. Goodbye.